Hey everyone, welcome to Dit Dot. My name is Amanda. Today I am doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a chopped challenge at home. It's a collaboration with several other cooking YouTube channels. Sorry, my dog is distracting me. I'm sure you'll see him in the video at some point. I've got this adorable little pug named Watson, and apparently he needs his nails trimmed. So if you hear the clip, clips, that's Watson. Anyway, so yes, so we're doing a chopped 5-ingredient challenge, and I'm very excited. I'm going to list all the other channels that are participating down in the description below, but really quickly, I'll read off the list in no particular order. Cynthia from Our Big's Adventure, she and I are the ones who kind of got this collab started. Grandma B's Busy Life, Snow Gardener 307, Penguin and the Chef, Kitchen Shenanigans, Simply Wendy, Live, Love, Bake, Adventures with the Ethingtons, and we are going to use the hashtag on Instagram, hashtag chopped at home. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do that. I'm also Dit Dot on Instagram. All right, well, let's open up our chopped basket and see what we have to work with. So unlike the contestants of Food Network's Chopped, they don't know what's in the basket, and of course I do, but I still thought it'd be fun to kind of create a little basket here. So all of the contestants, all of the collaborators in this collab are starting out with the same 3 ingredients. We're starting off with potato, a green vegetable, which I chose Brussels sprouts, and chicken. And then we were each allowed to pick 2 ingredients from our fridge or pantry. And so I chose bacon because, hello, yes, and some shredded cheese. So we also decided that salt, pepper, and butter don't count towards our 5 ingredients because pretty much everyone has salt, pepper, and butter. So with that, let's get started. Okay, so with these 5 ingredients, I was trying to think, what could I do that would be something maybe a little bit different? I don't know, maybe one of the other collaborators will do something just like me, but I wanted to try to do something a little different. And so I came up with the idea of what the kids and I called chicken and potato baskets. So you do either need really good knife skills to get super, super thin slices of potato, or use this tool called a mandolin. This is a professional mandolin I got as a gift from my mom many moons ago. This one is professional grade. It is super sharp and amazing. They do have, and it's also very expensive, they do have much more affordable versions of this. I will put a link below in the description box of both the professional one. I don't know if it'll be this exact model because again, this one's probably like 20 years old, but a professional model and like a much more affordable mandolin, because they're fun to have in the kitchen and they're fun to like do kind of crazy things with sometimes. So they slice things really thin. You want to either use a glove. It came with this like special tool at one point that's gotten lost over the years, or just be very careful. I'm opting for the very careful. And I have cut myself on this before, but you just basically slide your vegetable down over the surface of the blade, and you will end up with like paper thin slices of vegetable. And with the professional one, you can change your thickness, like to really thick, really thin, and then it's got other options where you can dice at the same time or do the crinkle cut. So let's see, I want about 8 of these potato slices. I mean 12. 1, 2. Some of those are little, so I'll need more. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this whole potato as the slices, or at least until it gets too dangerous. Okay, I think I can get one more without cutting my finger off. Which is, you know, important for part of the challenge, right? All right, so that's fun. Now I'm just gonna give this a quick rinse. Okay, I'm gonna take a chunk of my butter and melt it. And also, I have my oven preheating to 425 degrees. So I'm gonna go with a little less than half. So I want enough to put these potatoes through. Okay, so I have some melted butter, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and set that aside for now. We're gonna chop up some of the rest of this potato into pretty small squares. I'm not sure if I actually need all 3. I tend to do that. I always overestimate how much vegetable I need. We'll see. I'm not sure how many of these I'm making. I want to aim for at least 8. That way everybody in my family, I have a family of 4, can have 2 of the little chicken baskets. But then if I get extra for leftovers, that's always a bonus. Yeah, I'm gonna just put this in a Ziploc bag and save it for a meal tomorrow. That's how I cook. I don't cook with recipes. I make it up on the fly. I actually did run through this as a test recipe a couple weeks ago when Cynthia and I first were coming up with the idea of this collab, but now I've already forgotten what I've done. Every time I cook, I create newly. Okay, so this is a hard block of butter from the refrigerator, so I'm just using it on my cookie sheet like this. Normally I would use spray, but in the spirit of the competition, I am gonna use this stick of butter, and when you hold on to the wrapper like that, you can get some butter down on your cookie sheet without getting butter all over your hands. And believe me, we'll come back to that. Well, maybe, I'm not sure. We have bacon fat too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these potatoes on my cookie sheet. And honestly, I should have done this all first, but that's how I go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move these out of the way because I decided I wanted to get this part going first. Brussels sprouts. To prep up Brussels sprouts, you want to cut off the end and then cut it in half. If I'm just roasting Brussels sprouts, that's usually all I do. But because I'm making these little baskets, I want like little bite-sized morsels. So I'm gonna, again, give these a rough chop. So I'm going to just cut up a bunch of these Brussels sprouts, add them to the cookie sheet, and we'll be right back. All right, I'm almost done. The fun thing about being a mama YouTuber is that life is always throwing you curveballs. So I had planned to film this tonight. What I hadn't planned was taking my daughter in for what ended up being an emergency tooth surgery. So she had a dentist appointment this morning, and it was supposed to be just a quick, fast little baby tooth extraction from a stubborn baby tooth that ended up taking it to be a 2-hour dental surgery. She's fine. She's upstairs resting with an ice pack on her jaw. Poor thing. She was such a trooper, because let me tell you, it was intense. I'm still stressed out from it. That dentist had to get in there, and she was like, sorry for anybody who is tooth squeamish. Won't go into any further details, but it finally all got handled. All right, so I'm just picking up my trash pieces here. Try to clean up a little bit as I go. We've got potatoes, we've got Brussels sprouts. Now we are going to cut up some chicken and the bacon. I'm not sure if I want to use 1 or 2 breasts here. So a couple things about this meal is, one, it is fairly budget friendly. These are all pretty budget friendly food ingredients, and to be even cheaper, you could use chicken thighs, because chicken thighs tend to run cheaper than chicken breasts. And if you didn't want to be all fancy with the basket situation, because, you know, honestly, I'm really doing that for this collab. It's just kind of something fun, something special, not an everyday thing that I would do. This would actually be a perfectly good sheet pan dinner where we would cook this all up, sprinkle it with cheese at the end, and then call it a day. How many of y'all live an easy sheet pan dinner, am I right? Okay, so I am just cubing these up. Again, very small pieces because we're making little baskets that are gonna fit into muffin tins. So we want everything to be small. Yeah, I think we're gonna use both because we want enough protein. I mean, we do have the bacon and cheese too. So as you saw a while ago, I carefully am filleting my chicken because that just gives me a little thinner piece to make the cutting go faster and easier. And just give it a nice chop. Working with sharp knives is ideal. These silicone cooking mats are not actually very good for your knives, but keeping wood cutting boards clean and bacteria free can be a lot more work than the silicone. So I kind of go back and forth on that. I don't even know. Wash my hands. reaching into my basket for ingredient 4, which is our bacon. And I actually like to just use kitchen shears. So I'm gonna use half this package. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut up half of it. I'll just put this part in a Ziploc bag and I'll pull out the bacon. And I just use my kitchen shears to cut slices. I find that is super easy. Of course, you can use your knife too. And then we'll go to separate it all out. Oh, here comes Watson. He smells the bacon. Do you smell the bacon, Watson? Well, I should have shimmied this all around before I salt and pepper, but we'll do it all together. All right, I'm going to add a bunch of salt. And if I wasn't doing a 5-ingredient challenge, I'd probably add onion powder and garlic powder and probably some paprika. But, you know, sometimes it's good to challenge ourselves, right? And then I'm using some pepper. Oh, it smells good. I'm probably gonna start sneezing. Trying to decide if I want to add a little bit of this butter on top, but I think as the bacon renders down, it will keep the potatoes from sticking, and that's one reason why we greased the bottom of this before we added the potatoes too, because that's the thing, we don't want the potatoes to stick. Spread this bacon around, spread the chicken around. It's another reason why chicken thighs would also be good. They have a higher fat content, they'd be less likely to stick. I had chicken breast in the fridge, so that's what I am using. I don't love chicken thighs. I like them in some dishes, but I'm definitely a person who prefers chicken breast. How about you? Do you prefer the dark meat over the white meat or the other way around? I know my mom definitely loves dark meat over white meat. I'm gonna spread this all around, and then we're gonna pop this in the oven, and we're going to, with a spatula, kind of like turn it over every once in a while. I am going to put this on the bottom rack of our oven because that will help get the potatoes and vegetables crispy.
Now it's time to make the potato baskets. I am doing this on hyper speed, but I'm basically taking each of the thin potato slices and dipping it down in the butter and trying to form little baskets as I go along. I realized I did not make enough slices, so I quickly grabbed that potato from my refrigerator and my mandolin and sliced up a few more potatoes so that I could have enough for everyone to have one for dinner and for us to have a couple as leftovers.
Watson's checking out the little bitty piece of Brussels sprout that I dropped. Watson, you don't like Brussels sprout, do you? No, you don't, do you? I'm adding, again, some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna go ahead and put these now on the middle rack and let them cook, pre-cook a little bit. There's Watson. He's always wondering what I'm doing in the kitchen. All right, we're gonna go ahead and, so I just popped the little potato baskets in the oven, and now I'm pulling this out just to go ahead and check on it and give it a stir. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and increase the heat. I had it at 375, which I meant to do it at 425. I think I pushed the wrong button. So I'm going to go ahead and up the temperature to 425 and pop these back in. The chicken's still pink in the middle, I can see, and the potatoes are still raw, so that's good, and the bacon. So definitely need some more cooking time on this. Right, so I pulled it out of the oven, and after, I checked on a couple of times and, stirred it around. The potatoes now, you can see I can cut in half with my spatula, so that means they are cooked through, and my little baskets are starting to get some color along the edges, so I know that they're good. So now we're gonna fill them up with basket ingredient number 5. I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things about being a YouTuber is meeting some other YouTubers literally around the world. I've met some from Australia, from England, and then several different states in the US. So I'm very excited about that being part of my YouTube journey. All right, so I'm just putting down a little bit of cheese in each one. Now, again, not part of the ingredients, but when I made this as a test run a couple weeks ago, my kids topped theirs with barbecue sauce and said it was absolutely delicious. So So I'll just put that out there, right? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and carefully, messily stuff these up. Get a little bit of everything in each one. And again, like if you were making this dinner just on a busy weeknight, taking this from the cookie sheet part right here and putting at the end, putting a little bit of cheese on it and putting it back in the oven to melt the cheese on top, and then just getting some bowls and serving this in bowls and call it a chicken bowl or something. I don't know. It would be a fast and healthy dinner idea, tasty. It looks like I probably will have extra stuffing, and I am not sad about that at all. I love when I make things that have stuffing and I make too much of the whatever I'm stuffing with, because to me that means throw a fried egg on top of it and have it for lunch the next day. Or I have some other recipes on my channel too, depending on what kind of stuffing it is. I'm always turning the stuffings into other things. Okay, that one didn't give me bacon, I feel. So I'm gonna put some bacon, put a little bit more cheese on top, and then I went ahead and lowered the oven back down to 325 because now everything's cooked through. I don't wanna like burn the tops of these little potato baskets. I just want to get the cheese all melty. Oh, this is gonna taste amazing. Mine's dropping cheese. Watson's on cleanup duty. He's ready and willing. So again, back in the oven, let's get this cheese melted. Here they are out of the oven. Let's give them a taste. All right, let's see if we can carefully get one of these out. Oh yeah, that slipped right out. Oh, it's so pretty. And then we'll give one a taste. All right, I went ahead and plated up 2 of them so we can give one a taste. I'm very excited. Seriously, what is not to love about cheesy bacon and potatoes? You don't even notice the Brussels sprouts are there. Although, let me tell you, Brussels sprouts I think are one of my favorite vegetables. So this dinner is a win for me. I want to give another shout out to Our Big's Adventure, Grandma Bee's Busy Life, Snow Gardener 307, Penguin and the Chef, Kitchen Shenanigans, Simply Wendy, Live, Love, and Bake, Adventures with the Ethingtons. And remember, you can find all of us on Instagram. We're going to be using the hashtag #ChoppedAtHome. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and hit like on this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see what the other collaborators have come up with these 5 ingredients.